Welcome to our tub. Come on in. It's warm inside, and there's always room for more.
This podcast contains adult material and is intended for mature audiences only. If you're under 18, grab your rubber ducky and find another tub. This one's not for you. Hello and welcome back in the tub for episode 193. I'm Mr. Berg.
And I'm Mrs. Berg.
And this week, real briefly, we're going to discuss and remind once again, Exotica is only a few short days away from this episode launching. And then we're going to hop into the tub with a special guest for this week. A really fun conversation. We talked for quite a while afterwards and look forward to meeting this guest this coming weekend at Exotica. So, really, yeah. Exotica is a few days away. As this hits on Tuesday, this Friday, October 24th, through Sunday the 26th. For those who haven't been following, we'll be in beautiful, dirty Jersey. Edison, New Jersey, for Exotica. It's that time. It's been a while. I think Miami was at the end of June, so we had quite a few months in between. Last episode, we discussed a lot of the seminars. Nice variety. Some new things.
Yeah. On
tap. And the list of performers is pretty big. There are, I saw three at least when I rolled down through that are making kind of special guest appearances that haven't been there before. And they're doing, I guess, sign up for signings. It was kind of a TBD, look out, it's coming, and we're going to make the announcement. Kind of like what Jenna did in Chicago, is what it seems like. Our friends from Cassidy will be there. We've already talked to a couple of them. And yeah, it'll be just another trip to New Jersey for a fun weekend at Exotica. So if you are there, hit us up on social media. We'll be wandering the floor all weekend. We'll get there late Friday. We won't be wandering the floor Friday. Other than our...
At least not for long.
No, not by the time we get there. But enough of that. Now it's time to discuss the interview and our guest that we have for you today.
She was brought to us by
Don Juan DeMarco, and a new face to us again, which it didn't take long. Like we really clicked. We had a fun conversation. Really learned a lot about her. She said when we got on, she's like, I'd love to talk. And we talked a little bit about everything. Multi-award nominated. Just this past year, she was nominated for 5 T Awards. Yes. Which, that's pretty big. When essentially, she said it's only been about a year that she's gotten into the studio work. But great personality, lot of fun, really had great conversation. She will be, as she says in the conversation, she will be at Exotica, not signing at a booth. There, networking, walking the floor, meeting people. So, good chance you could run into her while she's enjoying it as industry, but as fan as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to shut the mics off and hop into our conversation with Kaela Luna.
You gotta quit sitting in the hot tub, for making the water all fucking gross. You gotta quit sitting in the hot tub. I don't know what it's doing in this blue.
All right, welcome back in the tub. As we had shared, we have a very special guest joining us for this segment of the episode. We want to thank Don Juan DeMarco for bringing our guest into the tub today for our conversation with us. This multi-nominated, tattooed beauty has worked with some of the top studios in the trans world, the likes of Trans Angels, Groovy Girls, and T-Hookups, just to name a few, all while still managing numerous clip sites with her own content. Please take a minute and welcome Kaela Luna.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Thank you. And again, it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to join us for a conversation today.
Of course, I love to talk.
Hey, great. Well, we're in the right spot then. So, as we get comfortable, and before we start this conversation, can you let the listeners know where can they find you online and on social media?
The best place to start is just going to my website. It's kaelaluna.com. It's KAELALUNA. That's going to have a list of all my sites, the clips, the stores that I sell stuff in, the studio sites I'm on, and then there's also all my social media links. So I'm most active on Twitter, or X, as everyone refuses to call it rightfully, but I'm on there. I'm on Blue Sky, and one of these days I'll get an Instagram. I have like a personal one, but not really like a business one.
And we talk about it so much. Sometimes Instagram's the one. It's almost, do you do it because you do it, and within a couple months you're flagged, you're banned, you're
all my
shut
friends,
down.
Yeah.
all my friends are getting banned and freaking out and trying to get their thing back on. I'm like, I don't want that heartbreak, so I just I have a personal one. If I think the right people could probably hunt it down and find it, I just it's not attached to my name because I know Meta is very strict about that stuff.
It really is. Whether it's Instagram or if it's the Facebook world, it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. So as much as I don't, I don't love being on Twitter. It really is just the best place right now to advertise that kind of stuff, since there's just so little censorship that you really can get away with, posting as explicit stuff as you like. And that feels nice to still have a place on the internet where you can do that.
And you're right. There was fear about it, and then the world of Blue Sky came out, and literally that we jumped on, but it seemed like that was a very short-lived. It's still there, but I don't really see a lot going on there.
It's it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of nice to be free of the algorithm, but then also sometimes it's like it really is the time, and if you got to get it right. And your post can be super popular, but if it's not being, retweeted by somebody or, reposted or whatever constantly, other people may not see it, It's not like, where the algorithm is like, oh, this post is doing really it's doing really well. Let's bring it to the top of somebody's feed. So that makes it kind of tricky. I do like Blue Sky. I got in there when it was still invite only.
Okay.
And it was still trying to figure it out. And it was a lot of fun then. And then there was the big rush of, the big migration of everyone coming over. And that kind of was bumping for a while. But yeah, like you said, it's settled down now. And I think the team behind it didn't really know what direction to take it in. It's like, I think they were trying to cater to too many audiences, and I think they should have just doubled down and really stuck with what kind of got them started,
Yes.
Which included a lot of sex workers. A lot of us were on there from the start, and arguably we help drive the activity on any kind of social platform we're on. This includes OnlyFans, that's of course OnlyFans. They wanted it to be like Patreon, but everyone knows it for the sexual content because that's where that's where the popularity and the fame came from. And it just seems like once these companies get big, they kind of turn their backs on the sex workers and start trying to censor and say and distance themselves from the people who really brought all their audience. So,
and that's exactly it. Yeah. The sex worker built it, and then you're pulling yourself away. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah. And yeah, again, and I know I heard, again, we're on Blue Sky and, we use it, but then after a while, then you started hearing rumbles about they were going to start censoring. They were going to start watching this. And it's like, well, here we're right back. That migration happened. They start the ball starts rolling, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's silly.
Yeah. And social
there's-
media
there's-
is the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, within
Yeah.
this industry,
Yeah.
it's your free advertising and marketing, so you have to be prominent there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a
Absolutely.
lot of people going to Reddit now.
Oh yeah, I've heard. I feel like it's kind of comes and goes in waves. I was on there like a while ago, and I didn't really care for it myself, but I know people who still use it and have good success at it. I was just like, I have a hard time trying to keep track of what groups or threads or whatever to be in, where to post. I had some, I was trying to promote my my content on there, but also be like more involved in some like the communities.
Mhm.
And I had a few of them outright tell me like, oh no, because you are involved in like these more explicit threads, like you are banned from this one because we don't want to break, we don't want people to connect, what you do for your, the sexual content, the explicit content with this community. And I'm just like, but I'm, still part of the community, so it's just kind of like, oh, it's another one of those weird, like anti-sex worker takes. You're just like, okay, well, fine.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
when I'm not wanted.
Yeah, and Reddit is it hurts my brain trying to
Yeah.
figure it out sometimes, and it's just it's funny because we were going through, and I believe it's this coming weekend at Exotica, New Jersey. Didn't they have a seminar on? They're actually doing a seminar on Reddit
Really?
and how to build that. Like we looked, and I'm like, okay, because we've talked to a few other performers, and they're like, well, you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and then you got to do, and I'm like, well,
That's
that's
too
a
many
lot of
steps.
work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to go to that. I'll try to see if I can find out more details on that, because that, maybe that would be good for me, because like we were saying, it's like, even though you don't want to be on there, it's sometimes the nature of the beast, to be on there, and, every channel you can get. But yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Reddit reminds me a lot of when forums were more popular.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes the thread, or I don't even know the terms, what they call those groups of channels, I think,
Yeah.
channels. You're really at the whim of the admins and the mods and whatever their tastes are. And it's just their own little corner and their own little justice system over there. And
Yes.
it's like, they just don't like something you're doing. Like they can kind of just say like, get out. And you're just like, well, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my room. I rule. See ya. That's
Yeah. So you're just like, you're always kind of, everyone's kind of always sucking up to them or something. And you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, well, we'll jump into that. Normally in our conversations, we kind of roll into the convention world. But you had just mentioned. So, will you be attending Exotica?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm heading up there Wednesday, actually. I'm going to, there's a few people I know because I actually live over in New York City, so I'm right
Okay.
across the
Oh,
river.
yeah.
But I know, there's a lot of people in the area that I'm already familiar with, but a lot of people who are coming in from afar. So we all want to kind of get together and film some, content while we're there. So I'm coming out Wednesday so I can get some filming done before Friday. And we'll definitely be there I'm not doing any booths this year.
Okay.
I kind of like just to walk around, jump from friend group to friend group, hang out with them for a little bit, network. And then usually by like evening time is when I'll do some shoots if I don't have any during the day. And I will see if I have any energy for the parties afterwards.
And in there, as you're filming content and you're walking the show floor and everything like that, it's by the time you get to that, it's like, oh gosh, now it's after parties. Now we got to get that
Now
second win.
Now it's more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the social battery runs out quickly, and especially the kind of content I like to create. It's like I'm going to get all messed up. I'm not going to be ready to go to a party after that.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So late at night, it's like, all right, now I got to redo makeup. I got to redo hair. I got to
fix my hair, right?
Yeah. All right. I got another hour to get ready for this party now.
Yeah, and it's just like after you've just been, plowed on camera, you're like, I'm feeling nice and satisfied. I don't really feel like I want to go anywhere.
Yeah, I can stay in my room and relax. I can have a drink or whatever I need to do, and I'm done. Leave me alone.
Bask in the afterglow,
Yeah, exactly.
So when are you guys heading out there?
So we'll leave Friday afternoon and drive out. So we're in Western Pennsylvania. It's about a 5-hour drive.
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah, we'll hit the road. We typically get there around 9 or so, just with enough time to get into the convention, get our passes, our media passes for the rest of the weekend, so we can get to the after parties and everything.
Cool.
And then be able to
make a quick loop and
make a quick loop, say hi to some friends that, hey, we made it, we got here safe. We'll see you at the hotel, and
Are you staying at the host hotel?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't book it in time. I'm hopping between some content houses, Airbnbs with friends, and then like my own hotel room, which I think it's like the Raritan or something. I don't remember which hotel I booked out, honestly, but I know it's not the host hotel. So next year I'll book earlier.
Yeah. So we had a friend that we work out of their booth, and it was like, hey, I'm okay, cool. We can, we can knock that out. We have media passes. We work at their booth and help them out. So I'm like, all right, we'll stay there. Normally we stay across the street in years past, but hey, we'll.
And then we end up walking back and forth.
And then we're there. We're at the host hotel until 4:00 in the morning anyway, and it's just like, okay, we got to walk back anyway.
Yeah.
So you've done Exotica in the past, just New Jersey or other ones?
Just New Jersey. I actually, last year was my first year going.
Okay.
And it was just because it was in Jersey, and I think I had just gotten done with the tour, and I came back, and I was like, you know what, I'll just pop over there, see what it's all about. And I had a great time, so I was like, all right, this year I'm going to make it, I'm actually going to stay there, have a place, even though I'm only like an hour and a half away. It's like, if I need to go get anything, I can run home, but I'm just going to set up shop out there, bring all my lights and content, creation stuff, and just, like I said, I've already got some stuff scheduled, and then everything else I'm just going to fill in the blanks.
Awesome. Well, it'll be a fun, productive weekend. And again, they're great for networking, as you said. The performers in New Jersey, the crowd that it draws, and the performers that are coming from LA, from Vegas, from all over the country, even some from around the world that actually come to this event. It's, for someone that's never been there, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Just just the sexual energy, the fun, the excitement, the freedom of it.
It feels more, it's a very, you have a lot of fans there, but you also, it's just, you feel like you're among your peers, you really get to like see everyone, and it feels a little more casual than like, the award shows, which I like, also like to go to, but that there's a little bit more high, like it feels higher stakes there than Exotica, which seems a little more relaxed, and a little more fun. So, I'm really looking forward to it. Do you guys attend any of the other Exoticas across the country?
We've actually, this year, we've done all of them. So we started in going just to New Jersey. And then when DC came around, we started going there. For us, DC is actually an hour and a half closer to get to.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So, and we've done, Chicago is great. Chicago is New Jersey, maybe a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And then just this past summer, we did Miami. We've had people say, look, Miami isn't really big. It isn't great, like, as far as fans and it being busy. So, but it worked out in our schedule. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We'll make a vacation out of it. Let's go.
Fantastic.
And there was not a lot of foot traffic. There was not a lot of fans. Like, it wasn't crazy busy. And it more, in talking to people, they're like, look, this is ours. This is the performers show, because we aren't crazy busy, so we have energy for more content creation, more collabs. But it was a fun time. The convention center's connected to the host hotel.
Yeah.
So it really was. We enjoyed Miami just from that, as you had said, it was family. Because throughout the time of doing this show, we've been welcomed in as part of that family.
Yeah.
With a lot of the performers, and we just, converse and text on a regular basis with people. So, Miami was definitely, if you're looking to make money from fans, it's not a huge one. If you're looking to make a lot of content and network, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I love meeting fans, but I do like the content creation is what is like that's a lot of fun. And I think this sounds like an amazing excuse to go down to Miami. So I think I'll try to attend it next year because I like it. It's a little bit easier not to have that social battery run out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep. And that's what we had heard.
And it was beneficial for us from the networking and being slower. We were able to record more.
Yeah.
Than
we normally would. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of, there were some people that in a New Jersey and a Chicago, you're waiting an hour in a line just to get to see them. And we're not going to take up 10 to 15 minutes of their time recording a short interview and, buying something when there's a line behind us. And in that time, they can see 5 fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And make that money. It's a respect thing. Hey, you're here for business. So it was good for us in that way. It's always the end of June, and
heat in Florida at that time.
It's a hot time to be down south.
Yeah, that's my take. I'm like, I'm a northern guy.
Yeah,
boy, it's a little sweaty.
Yeah, I grew up in Southern California, so I'm used to I can take the heat, but the dryness is what I'm a little more accustomed to. You get me down there, and it's just like, I'm just sweating and grumpy because I'm sweating my makeup off, my hair won't stay up. I don't know, don't really love the South in the summer.
No, not at all. Awesome. Well, we will be on the lookout. I mean, it'd be great to run into you this coming weekend.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll check the booths.
Yeah.
You said what's your friend's booth?
So we typically during the show we're wandering around. Like we'll be around the Loyal Fans booth, or we'll be in the lifestyle area with Cassidy.
Okay.
So we know those guys pretty well in the swingers community. Cool. That's where we kind of got into this whole thing was through that. That community. Yeah.
Swingers, I love it.
Yeah. Hey, it's about having fun, like we said. Being free and open.
I mean, it's really nice to be just, sex positivity is so great. And I feel like it's such a stifled thing in this country. So it's really great to be around people who really are sex positive and not, part of this kind of more puritanical wave that seems to be, going on. Like, I don't understand it. But I love being around people who celebrate sex and just have fun with it.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Why not? Enjoy your life while you can.
That's what I think so too. It's a little hedonistic, but it's what we can do it, and if it's not hurting anyone, you might as well, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's not hurting anyone, and it feels good to you. What the hell?
Exactly.
So, as we kind of talked about the convention, so from your standpoint. And within the industry. So where did that start? At what point did you say, I'm going to do content or I'm going to do studio? Hey, sex work is something that really, I want to jump in head first to this.
I think, honestly, I had done content just very casually throughout, my adult life. You know what I mean? I was younger and I just liked taking these pictures of myself. It's like digital cameras became more convenient. This was before phones were really able to take good, photos. But I was, playing out the digital camera and I would take some pictures, upload them online. And I liked the kind of buzz that they got. And it was just kind of casual. But I think it was when COVID happened and I was living alone at the time. So I was okay, like we were just saying, we're sex positive people. We love that kind of energy and that physicality. And to suddenly be kind of cut off from that, I was like, all right, well, I need this outlet in some way. So I started to make a lot of content through that and just really enjoyed it as an expression. And again, just making that side money, which I was going to need because I knew there were surgeries I wanted to get. So I was like, I'm going to have to really start getting a second income that I can do from home. So I kind of started there, and it was pretty casual for a while until it started to pick up for me, and I was able to switch to it as a full-time job. But it wasn't until last year that I really was like, you know what, I want to do more studio stuff. I'd kind of gotten to a place where I was happy with myself, making good connections, and I did Ignite, did a big push for it. And last year was my first year really trying for any of the awards. And that's where I got like nominated, like, 5 times at the T's, 1 time at the AVNs for 2025. And I was like, all right, I got the taste for it now, I was like, this feels good. I want more. So just definitely been like, all right, be great to stay nominated. But now it's like, I want to bring home an award. So just planning on kicking with studio stuff for a couple of years. And then I'll probably relax a little bit and go back to just doing content creation. I also want to start streaming because that was something I've never really done before. But as I said, I love talking and being on camera. So I was like, why don't I stream? Enough people have asked me to start. So we'll see how that goes for me. But just, enjoying it. And it's been such a wonderful time. I love the people I meet in this industry. And people always tell you to get paid doing what you love, and this is what I love doing. So it's working for me right now, and we'll see what life brings me.
And that's it. Like you said, you enjoy it, ride the wave, and hey, you're able to support yourself, you're able to make money, and have fun doing it. Too many people in this world have jobs because they need jobs and they hate it.
I know, it's a shame. I don't know. I mean, I definitely was living that corporate life for a little bit, and it was just soul sucking. Like, power to the people who can really do it and find a way to thrive in it. I definitely coped to it, but it was just like, when I was able to start making enough income with the content creation to kind of quit my job, there was very little hesitation. There was the fear of like, well, this is kind of a gig job, you know what I mean? And so it's like, that money's going to come and go, and it's, nice to have a steady, dependable income. But even that, you never know what, I've gone, at my age, I've lived through at least, 2 recessions already. So I know that like, even a corporate, quote unquote, safe job isn't really safe.
Nope.
So yeah, but couldn't, do not miss the office life. I don't miss food service or any of the other jobs I do, but this has just been, I love this job, this has been so good.
Well, and it's funny that you say you don't miss food service. Gosh, that's my life.
Is it? What do you do? Are you like a chef, or what do you do?
So I am, but I got out of that end and went into the sales and consulting side.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, until 7 years ago, and a friend was like, "Hey," and so I helped develop a restaurant. So now I do the sales and consulting, and then I help run a restaurant at night.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean,
but food service is
so the problem with food service is because I mean, don't get me wrong, I love food. You know what I mean? Like, I love being around food, and I do love making connections with people, but I don't like the dealing with people who feel like they're entitled to things. And food is something that is a very sensitive, vulnerable place for people who are very particular about their things, and they get very upset very quickly. And that's what I don't miss is just unruly customers. And I know, I was already out of the restaurant business by the time Yelp became a thing. And I know that seemed to just make people a little more insufferable about their opinions.
Everybody is a top review, and they know, and I'm like, really? Come on.
I was actually just complaining about this to a friend like 2 days ago, where I was like, I can't stand going to like a Google review or a Yelp review and it being like 1 star because they didn't bring my food out in time, type of thing. And I'm just like, where's your sense of proportion? Like, I can't, how am I supposed to take you seriously when you throw a fit and give this like horrible review bomb just because you didn't feel completely like weighted on hand and foot? I don't know. I feel like people have suggested before, but I do like the idea that I think everyone should work food service at one point in their life, just for the perspective, because I think then you really understand how hard it is and how hard people work. And I mean, I was blown away because, when I was working, this was in California, like they have to pay you like the minimum wage, minimum. Yeah. And you still get to keep like tips. And then I moved out east and I found out there's a whole different system where you guys get paid way less than minimum wage.
Yeah, there's the server minimum. Yeah.
They haven't raised that in like 15 or 20 years or something. And you have so many people who have this, like, I understand, like the tipping, like, what do they call it? Like the tipping lifestyle, the tipping community, ecosystem, whatever, like that is kind of throwing things off balance. But it sucks when there's somebody who's like, well, I'm trying to, like, I don't believe in tipping, you know, and I'm trying to keep tipping from becoming a thing. So I'm not going to tip. And it's like, you do not know how many people's lives you're fucking with by doing that. Like, a lot of people rely on this.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's...
And
I
even,
don't, you know.
even other cultures are different, because when you get into Europe, they don't tip.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
yeah,
And where
I went
we're
to Japan.
located, yeah. Where
in
we're
Japan,
located.
it's like an insult, you know, like you
Yep.
do not tip, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, and that's not how, you know, it is in the States. It's like
No.
you tip, you know, I tip everybody. I don't care. Yeah, it's just when, you know, tip, you know, of course, always tip, you know, anyone who's doing your hair, your nails, but
I know what you're
people always
going
like
through. We've been there. We've done
Yeah.
that. We're like, here you go. And
Exactly.
even we were in Canada. We went up to Toronto to a lifestyle club back in April. And we went out that was when we left the club. It was like 3:00 in the morning. The only thing open was like a Denny's. And like I tipped like 25%. And this girl looked like she was almost in tears.
Oh,
It was like $15 or $20 on a bill for 4 of us, and I'm like, "What do you?" I'm like, "That's like a standard, you know, that's standard." And she was like in tears. Is this right? I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, but it just is. It's those cultures that don't.
It's, I mean, it's interesting, and
The internet's changed everything.
yeah, it really has, for better or for worse.
Exactly. Yeah, goods and bads. So, within your content creation world, what can fans expect when they get onto your OnlyFans, your
Clip stores.
any of your clip stores? Yeah, because you do have multiples. You have OnlyFans.
I do. I'd like, you know, OnlyFans is a little more personal, like solo videos.
Okay.
Because I've seen that's what people like. ManyVids has a lot more of my collabs.
Sure.
Personally, I prefer doing the collabs because solo feels awkward because it's like I have to, you know, what I do for solos is just pretending like I am talking, you know, to a person. Or, you know, most times in OnlyFans, I am talking to a person and I'll give them like a little thing, but it's still like I'm looking into a screen. You know, and like, okay, this is how I'm speaking to this video. I'm looking at a reflection of myself, basically, if it's on selfie cam. And it's the same reason that, like, I love being in person with people. You know what I mean? Like, I like, because there's like that energy that you get between things. And so for a collab, it's like I'm actually with somebody and there's this buzz between people, especially when you just like click, you know? So I love making that kind of content. I have a few like collabs where I'm topping, and that's especially, you know, that's always in demand for trans girls. They love to see us top, but I prefer to bottom, and that's kind of a lot of the content that I love the most is the stuff where I'm like, I am being a bottom, and I pride myself on being a little bit of a size queen, you know, and it's just like the more the better. So it's like the videos that I love for myself are the ones where it's like, you know, me and like 2 other guys, maybe more. I'm trying to get a bigger, you know, gangbang thing going, which is really hard, you know, because it's really hard to get a bunch of guys and wanting to be in the same room and doing this on camera, you know, and not flaking and making sure that they're all tested. It's like wrangling cats. So usually you need like a studio to help out, and the studios, you know, are very choosy about where they book these big scenes because it's so much money to drop on it. So I've had studios warming up and to doing those kind of things for me. Like Trans Angels, I had like a boy girl scene, which was a lot of fun. That was the first time I did double anal on camera, which was like, I felt really, you know, that was an accomplishment. But that's the, you know, that's the stuff I like to watch and being like, oh, look at me, you know, like I'm proud of this. I'm proud about how big of a dick I took. And that's, you know, I have a lot of fun with it, but I also really love, you know, this. I see this on OnlyFans. I mean, I get this a lot on OnlyFans with the customs that people request for very niche kinks. I love catering to like really niche kinks because I know that like, you know, that's one of the beauty of fetishes and kinks is that like it takes all kinds and everyone has things, and I don't like to yuck anyone's yum, you know, type of thing because I know that like it's kind of a, you know, there's a little bit of a phenomenon to it of just like where where do these kinks originate from us? Somewhere in our development, this became something that we've associated or try to reclaim, and taken power over if it was a traumatizing experience, but then you've like been able to change it into something that's pleasurable for yourself. And I know that like, it's not, sometimes when you have the really niche kinks, it's really hard to find that kind of content anywhere. So when someone comes to me and asks for something that's just, I would have never created it, never done it on my own, because I just wouldn't have conceived of it, I really get excited for that, because I feel like I'm giving them something that they just can't get anywhere. And I get to kind of put my mind into like, the mindset of that, like, okay, what goes into this? Or like, I always like to talk to them about like, if I don't understand it, like, well, what parts of this stick out to you the most? Like, what kind of lines, like what kind of dialogue do you like me to say? Where would you like me to focus on? Where, like I don't try to unpack, don't tell me, like, well, where does this originate from? Because I don't want to bring up anything if it was, traumatizing, but it's like, I want to understand it because I want to deliver the most believable content. Because there's nothing more disappointing, when you see somebody trying to create a fetish video and you can tell they have no knowledge of what they're doing about it or no insight to it. It just kind of seems, it's not genuine, and it's like, I really love to try to tap into that and deliver them something that's unique, just for them.
Yeah. And that when they're asking for that, you want to make sure you know exactly what it is that gets them off and turned on within that. And that really is, we've said it before, when you look at the industry, it is the web's it's like a spider web that continues to grow. The niche and the fetish world is something that is very much become more accepted over the last few years. For example, we go through the AEBN Trends website every so often, and they break down the top searches, the top most searches and solds. And a lot of that, whether the BDSM, the trans, 8 or 10 years ago, the trans world wasn't really something in the forefront.
Oh, no.
It is. It has grown. It has become more accepted. There are people. There are a lot more people out there. We watch trans porn. We have we have friends of ours, and he is a great guy. Love him to death. He is an ex-Marine, hardcore guy. We've had a conversation, and he's like, I've watched some trans porn, and I got like, it turned me on, and I went. He was like, you know what? I'll be honest. I was surprised.
And didn't you say recently you walked into the cigar shop and they were looking at something?
I walked into the cigar shop, and again, this is a bunch of derelict, drunks sitting around smoking cigars, and they were like, "Hey, come back here."
It's
so
like
we got to talk about they were searching trans performers on the TV in the back, and they're scrolling. And I'm like, nothing gets by you guys. Okay, so what are we talking about? Let me sit down. And
I mean, I gotta give a shout out to the dolls, because it's especially being at the forefront now, and politically it's scary right now. But I admire it, just not even as a performer myself, but like my peers, like the other performers, the other trans performers. I'm in awe of everyone, you know what I mean? Because I know what a journey we've all gone on to get to where we are. And to be able to really kind of wield this into a way that benefits us is really empowering. I know that's, true for many cis women performers as well. But and to me, it's like, what I like about it, and I think that's what a lot of people like it too, it almost seems like a best of both worlds. We're seen as this duality, where it's like, especially trans women, where it's just like, oh, we're very feminine, but we have a dick, and so anyone who's been curious about dicks, it's like, well, I'm not attracted to guys, but I really want to like focus on a dick, you know what I mean? And so it's like, oh, well, this is perfect. Here's this pretty girl that has this like nice dick, and it's a comfortable step for a lot of people to take that are not questioning their sexuality. They may, they may know more about their sexuality, but knowing there's this like curiosity of this other kind of genitalia that they've never really had an experience with before, beyond their own maybe. But I find it empowering, even though it can sometimes be a crutch. You know what I mean? There's a lot of times I wish I could just detach this thing and not have to worry about it, but other times I'm like, hey, this is what makes me unique. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And again, from even the more fetish stuff. So, and as we saw, we looked at your website within FetLife.
Yeah.
So is that...
I haven't touched my FetLife in a while, just to let you know. So if you've messaged me and I didn't say anything back, it's not personal. It's just I've been overwhelmed every time I go on that site. It's like 500 messages, and I'm like, I can't.
and the question was from that: is it the trans focus? Is it BDSM? Is it kink? What does that? What is that realm for you?
For trans stuff in particular, or what?
Well, with FetLife. So, does that include, any BDSM kink? Is that not your thing? Is it just more from the trans?
I like some BDSM.
Okay.
But I'm such a princess sometimes, and I'm kind of a wimp. I don't like a ton of pain. I'm like, I don't want anyone to leave marks on me, type of thing.
Oh, that's fair,
I get a little claustrophobic when I'm restrained, but there is this.
Okay, you're speaking my language.
Yeah, do you feel the same way?
I am like, I want to be a little submissive.
Yeah,
but I still want, when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
And, I can't completely give up control.
Yeah, I need a little something. It's like, and that takes a lot of trust, you know what I mean? So if I'm with a partner that's into it, I can do it, but I'm not the kind of person that goes to a BDSM club and I'm like, you're a stranger, you know what I mean? Like, you're a professional, if it's someone who, like a professional dom, I'm more willing because I'm like, you know what you're doing. But when it's enthusiasts and I'm like, because I've had people who, guys who are like, oh, I'm a dom, and then I've kind of started to engage and stuff with them, and then I've quickly realized, I'm like, you don't know what you're doing at all. Like, you're actually choking me. You're not like squeezing my throat. You don't know what you're doing, and I don't feel safe with you. And that's a little alarming. So I tend to be a little, like, I'm not forthgiving of my trust, but there's a lot of it that I respect as an art. I love shibari, like looking at it. I haven't tried it myself too much. I've had a few people tie me up and feel safe, and I'm like, this is nice, but it's just, just dipping my toes into it. But there's aspects I like. Like, I do occasionally enjoy being, like, objectified, like in the sense of, like, just use me for your pleasure type of thing. Like, that's kind of hot. Like, I can get into that, but I'm always going to be like, let's have safe words, even if I'm on the other end of it, because I've had people want me to be dominating to them, and I think that's hilarious because I'm so sweet, and I can't be convincingly mean, so when people want me to dom them, I'm more of a mommy dom. I'm very encouraging, and not like degrading, because I don't like to be mean, and I just start laughing because I'm like I've tried it before and then just been a little too mean, like doing a read almost, and start like really kind of cutting and getting personal, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I got carried away. I thought that's what we wanted.
Oh, well, but you understand. We each know ourselves, and knowing that, hey, that it is what works. So the other thing I was going to ask about was the Gigantus content.
I was thinking that was going to come up. People usually love to ask about it,
and that's something that we've seen more of recently. And so, as you had just said, from that Dom standpoint, I guess my mind immediately when you say Gigantus is all right. The giant is going to be that dominant, overshadowing type.
Yeah, so that's interesting because people who've known me, whether it's through my content or my friends, have remarked on that because, like I said, like everyone knows me as being so sweet, but they're like, when we see your Giantess content, it's like a whole different you. And I'm like, yeah, for some reason when I do the Giantess content, I can get into a mindset. It's almost like I'm playing a character then. And I know, like, because it's a fetish that I personally have, I know, like, and I was speaking earlier about, like, I know what kind of content to put out because it's like, I know what I like to see, and I just want to be part of what I like to, see, or what I, how I feel for myself. So I can definitely be cruel, when it comes to the Giantess content. And I have a lot of fun doing that because it's like different because it's so much more, obviously we don't have this ability to be 300 feet tall or have a partner that's only an inch tall. So it's so much of an immersive fantasy, and it takes a lot to, it really I enjoy it as an editor and a content creator because of the challenge of perspectives and really trying to make this immersive feeling to make this person feel like they're only an inch tall compared to me. I like that challenge. I love playing with sounds to make it seem more that way. And because there's a removal from reality to it, it doesn't make me feel like I'm not being mean to like a real person. I'm being mean to in this like fantasy world type of thing. And so it allows me to get a little more vicious, I think. And that's empowering sometimes.
Nice. Yeah. And so it's just putting on another hat.
It is.
Nice.
It really is. It's the same way like when I play, if I play like a video game or something, or if I'm playing like D&D, it's like, oh, this is like a chance for me to kind of just wreck shit, because I try to be so kind to everyone in my life. I don't try. I mean, I just naturally am very kind to everyone in my life. But sometimes, monitoring everyone else's feelings and trying to make sure that like, I'm being good and to everybody gets a little tiring. And so it's sometimes fun to just let loose in a video game where I'm like, I'm not actually harming anybody, so I can just go crazy and just laugh about it. And the Giantess stuff is kind of a place for me to do that. Sometimes I'm like, I could just be mean and people love it. I know they love it. So it really, I'm doing something. I'm doing good by being bad,
and to find a release, because we like to talk about, mental health and what you do for yourself. Well, just that, being able to do different content and being like, all right, I can just be somebody else and really have a different type of fun with it is probably the first time someone has actually said something like, well, I do that because it's just different and I can be different there.
Yeah.
So it's for you. So from that relax, unwind, mental health perspective, we just talked about all the stuff you're doing. How do you keep grounded? What is your unwind, relax, mental health saving?
Oh gosh, I mean, I am a little ball of anxiety, so it takes, the relaxation ritual is an important thing. And honestly, I find it through distraction. I love absorbing media. My absolute favorite is animation. I have always just been such a big fan of it. I love just studying it. I love, because every frame is like an artwork, and I love the way of like the caricatures, you know what I mean? And the techniques behind things of really trying to make like, tell a story with visuals as much as the audio. I really, really love that stuff. So I'm just such a goon for anything animated. That's my big, personal passion. But I'm also a cinephile. You know what I mean? I love watching movies and classic things. I used to do a lot of writing, and so I really love diving into, plot devices and character arcs and things like that. And I really love trying to boil down like tropes and things like that, and really try to like understand and see how there's a pattern or how this is a allegory for this or that. Because my I have a degree in English, and that's pretty much all we did in that degree is like we read a book and then say, oh, this is what the author was getting at, or this is what the author says, or this book is really just a representation of this part of the history or the human psyche. And nobody really knows what the author was thinking, but we make these arguments anyways, and it's like it's kind of fun.
and that, again, I mean, even with some, that is their portrayal, and if you read it differently, it's just like the world of like, in this world we're in with, you send a text. Well, you could send the same text to 3 different people. Well, they may read it differently and comprehend it differently.
Absolutely.
So
I use way too many emojis because I'm always paranoid of somebody reading it wrong. So I am constantly, I'm using emojis more than like
Words.
punctuation. Yeah, I'm like, smiley face, but that's just the closed mouth smiley face. They might think I'm being like sardonic with this. So I'm like, all right, I got to be the beaming smiley face or hearts, type of thing. Like, because people absolutely can read things differently.
Yeah. Well, and as you said, corporate world earlier, I mean, you write emails and you're like, you type it and I look and I'm like, oh, is this going to
my last email?
Yeah, I'm like, all right, is this one going to get me sent to HR? And I'm like, no. And I mean, I've had bosses come to me and they're like, hey, look, read this email and let me know. They're like, because you are pretty good at writing something that can kick somebody square in the groin and not get sent to HR about it. And it sounds good. But then I write something and I'm like, and you get a reply back and I'm like, no, let me pick up the phone. No, that's not what I meant. You took it a little wrong.
Yeah, you're like, I maybe should have worded it differently. But like, I've done the same thing when I've read an email during corporate and I'm just staring at it. I'm like, that's such an aggressive period. You know what I mean? Like that period right there, I'm just like, oh, are they mad at me? So I'm always using exclamation points. People probably think I'm a psychopath because I'm like, I'm trying to sound jubilant, and like high energy in my emails.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have every sentence having a, exclamation point. So you try to alternate, and I like to get fancy and throw a semicolon in there because, that's what I see. I studied English and I want to show people, I know how to use these punctuations.
I had a boss at one point that the entire email was in the subject line. Like, it was literally one sentence in the subject line, and that was the email.
Oh, my gosh.
That's just insane.
He was also...
That's a headache.
English was his second language.
Oh, yeah.
He was European, but it was still... Yes.
But still,
and no punctuation or anything. Come
on.
Yeah, you're
whatever
killing me.
language you speak, there's a format. You know what I mean? Like how did you skip that one?
Yeah.
So and again, that's something that just from the way that you had said it, it's keeping your mind going too. So you're always working, always thinking. I mean, just oof.
I mean, especially with sex work, because you're always responding to people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're trying to. I'm, like I was saying earlier, compared to a lot of my friends in the industry, I'm way more tame than they are about it, in the sense that I do not like being on my phone for too long. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like. It's just, it gets too much, and I remember the times where people weren't so actively attached to this device, and people kind of understood this, like, I'll get back to you when I get back to you. You know what I mean? I'm out doing stuff, and I have, I have 2 partners, and it's like, I like to make the most time when I'm with them. If I'm watching, one of my animated things, I'm like, listen, this has my full attention. I can't text you and, appreciate the line work, that Chuck Jones uses, the 1963 era Looney Tunes if I'm talking to you.
Yeah. And but you're right. Like, the world has become so attached to that. I mean, I'll get an email, and if I don't respond within an hour and a half, I'm getting a follow-up to it. And I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute here. I'm like, things have changed. I had some company that they were like, hey, if you don't respond within 24 hours, we just take it as, okay, you approved this. And I'm like, I fired an email back. I'm like, no.
That's stressful.
I'm like, 24 hours is acceptable for a response. Like, I have gotten to the point where I try not to. After 5 o'clock, I'm like, if my phone rings, I'm like, do you warrant me answering it? No, I don't think so. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff. And it's like, I always try to give people that too. And especially if it's a Friday or a Saturday night, I'm like, they're out having fun. Like, I don't need to respond to this right away. And you get that a lot with fans too. Like, I'll have someone reach out, and they send it on Twitter and it goes into my message requests. And I don't always check that. And then I see it and they're just like, hey, and they'll like, some peppered in compliments that I get, you hear all the time, them being horny. And then I'm like, oh, that was nice of them to say. And then I'll go click on their like picture, their like profile, and it's like, this person's blocked you. And I'm just like, oh, like, so you were really into me, but because I didn't respond within an hour, you just decided I'm not, like you'd never want to talk to me again. I'm just like, all right, that's, I guess my
That's
loss.
cool.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
it was nice knowing you. Not really, but at the same time, it's just like, you can't expect me to be like on point, like on call, like I don't think some of these guys, I don't think they understand, when you have like almost, 90,000 followers, you're just like, you need to understand how often guys are messaging me. Like, you could have messaged me, but then 10 other guys did too at the same time. Your message got bumped down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting to these in the order I can.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Yeah. And at the same time, too, this is your job. It is not your life. You need, all performers, everybody needs their personal time. It's not 24/7. And that's really the biggest thing that, we talk through these conversations, and just try to portray, look, this is your job. This is your career, but you have a life outside of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a little, I don't know, it's troubling sometimes, to get that attitude from people and then not realize it. But that's not unique to sex work. We were talking about food service earlier, and you get, sometimes customers just really can't think about what you're going through as an individual,
It's about
They're saying,
them.
like, you haven't brought me my water yet. And then you're just kind of like, do you need to know, like, do I need to tell you that I'm servicing 10 other tables right now, and I'll get you your water. I apologize I didn't bring it out right away, but like, please take some perspective on how much else is going on around you. And the same thing, for sex work, and emails from the corporate life of like, you didn't respond to my email right away. I'm like, well, I have a lot of emails.
Yeah, exactly.
I was putting out this fire and that fire and doing this and right.
Yeah, give me a break. I went to the men's room and grabbed lunch. Come on.
They're like, I saw you eating. You should be responding to text. Like, please, listen, we're not robots yet, okay?
No, not at all. Well, this has been an awesome conversation.
Yeah.
I have really enjoyed it too.
Good. And glad you have. It was really great getting to learn more about you.
Thank you.
And we really walked a path. We talked about a lot of stuff today.
We did.
So as we wrap up, can you once again let the listeners know where they can find you online and on social media?
Absolutely. Best place to start is my personal website, kaelaluna.com. It's KaelaLuna.com. And that's going to have my clip stores. That's going to have the studios I worked with. And also my social media links are all right there too.
Awesome. Well, again, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. And we look forward to hopefully running into you in New Jersey here this coming weekend.
Absolutely. I really look forward to it. And I'd love to be back on this show sometime. It was really nice talking to you too.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You got a quit sipping in the hot tub, while making the water all fucking gross. You got a quit sipping in the hot tub. I don't wanna be stewing in your spoon.
All right. Well, that wraps up our last episode before Exotica. Again, Kaela gave her list of online and social media links. Give her a check out. Definitely a lot of content, a lot of different places to find that content. And when you look at the award nominations racking up, she's doing it right. So again, we appreciate her taking the time out of her schedule and just sharing that time with us. And well, I think that time has come.
That's all, folks.
Don't forget to follow us on our social medias. Berg Couple for Fun on Twitter and Instagram. The Bergs on Facebook and Reddit. OnlyFans is what's the OnlyFans? There's two of them.
There are.
Did you? Yeah, I remember that one. There's two of them. So there is ours. Is Berg Couple for Fun, but then
Yes.
Mrs. has her own.
That's right.
Oh. And that is
Mrs. Berg.
all right. So you can catch us there as well. You can hit us up on email, thebergs@inourtub.com.
Right?
Our website is inourtub.com.
Catch us on Free Swap or
Full.
Free Swap. Full Swap Radio.
I mean,
See,
hey,
you asked me if I remember my
Free
lines.
for all swap. I mean, hey.
On
more the
Full Swap
merrier.
Radio.
Yes. Monday at 9 and Fridays at 1. And hey, keep an eye out on those social medias as well. That's where our travel plans and the upcoming where we gonna be is gonna be. So, with that, remember to pay for your porn. Support all the wonderful, beautiful content creators and performers that we have on this show. That we know within the industry. Take care of yourself, mental health. Do what makes you keep ticking and being yourself. Remember to wrap it before you tap it. Lick it before you stick it. And until next time.
We'll keep the lights on and the tub warm for you.
What you sleeping far away?